Well, the pitching matchup, a couple of lefties who pitched well against the respective opposition last year. Cliff Lee for the Indians and Barry Zito for the A's. But the A's in the first inning had a great shot, and we were all thinking, well, maybe this would be the day in which the A's broke through and got some runs for Zito when the A's loaded the bases with nobody out in that top of the first. But first, Chavez struck out, and then with the bases jammed and one away, Keith Ginter was the hitter for the A's. Martinez sets up outside. Now the 1-0 pitch is a ground ball to first, taken by Hernandez, goes to the plate for one, over to first for two. And how do you like that? Do you believe that? Is this top of the first the A's 2005 season in a nutshell? Bases loaded and nobody out, and failed to score with the Indians coming up in the bottom half. And the A's had first and second with one out in the second and failed to score, and so the Indians came up in the bottom of the second against Zito. They got a one-out single by Ronnie Belliard, a walk to Ryan Ludwig, a walk to Aaron Boone, who was batting 163 at the time, and so Johnny Peralta had a chance to drive in a run. Peralta deep in the box, an open stance, and the 1-0 pitch with the bases jammed is on the way to Peralta. A high pop-up, short left center field. Kotze lining it up. Is it deep enough? Belliard is tagging. Kotze with a catch. Belliard comes to the plate. Here's the throw, and it's not in time as Belliard scores from third on a sac fly by Peralta, and it's 1-0 Cleveland. Ball actually carried out farther than I thought initially it was going to carry, and so Peralta with a sac fly for his 15th RBI of the year. With two rain delays, Zito left after throwing 102 pitches in the game. 6 innings, 2 hits, a run. He walked 4 and struck out 7. Cliff Lee went 6 for the Indians. 2 hits, no runs. He walked 3 and struck out 5. And so it was Keiichi Yabu in the game for the Athletics in the bottom of the 7th inning. He got the first 2 batters out, Jody Garrett and Aaron Boone, with no problem as Peralta stood in.
And he hits the fly ball on the first pitch, deep to right center field. Going back is the right fielder. Swisher jumps and can't make the catch as it bounces off the wall. And Peralta with his speed would have a stand-up triple with 2 out in the 7th. So they're swinging early, but this time Peralta gets into one. Swisher at the 375 mark could not get to the ball. He jumped right at the base of the wall and could not come up with it. Yabu left the pitch middle of the plate, and Peralta crushed it to right center.
And then Grady Sizemore was the next hitter for Cleveland.
And a ground ball, base hit up the middle on a first pitch swinging by Grady Sizemore. So swinging on the first pitch as if Peralta with a triple, and the same with Sizemore. And the Indians have a 2-0 lead.
And that pitch was right down the middle. Perfect pitch to hit. In the 8th inning, Yabu is still pitching for the A's. Hafner singled. Ben Broussard batted for Jose Hernandez and struck out. Victor Martinez lined to left, and Ronnie Belliard was up. The 0-1 to Belliard is hit well, left center field. Kelty's going to watch, and it's gone. And a close game turns into a 4-0 game that quickly. A 2-run home run to left center field by Ronnie Belliard, and it's 4-0 Cleveland. We mentioned Lee went the first 6 for the Indians. Rafael Betancourt worked a 1-2-3 7th inning, as did Bobby Howry in the 8th. And so 20 consecutive A's had been retired when Mark Kotze stood in the 9th inning against the Indians closer Bob Whitman, and Kotze greeted Whitman by doubling down the right field line. Bobby Kelty then bounced out. Chavez walked. Ginter flied to left. Hatterberg batted for Burns and struck out. Nick Swisher was up. The count reached 2-0. And Howry left with an injury, and David Risky came out of the bullpen, and Swisher was able to work the count even further. So now it's 3-2. The runners go. The 3-2 on the way as a tapper down the first baseline. Risky bobbles it. He turns. He flips to first. Not in time. The ball gets away. Swisher is safe. Scoring is Kotze. The A's are on the board. The bases remain loaded, and now it's 4-1 Tribe. And Dan Johnson was up for the A's with the bases loaded, took the count to 3-0, and then a questionable call, and then Dan Johnson on a pitch that I thought initially was the ball was called a strike, and then Johnson bounced a second to Belliard, and Johnson was out 4-3, and the ball game was over as the Indians have beaten the A's in the first game of this series. by the final of 4-1. And Ray Fosse will have the scoreboard right after this.